COVID-19 has created fear and restlessness in the minds of people to such an extent that they are even skeptical and scared to go to the hospitals. As India and the world fight COVID-19 pandemic, here is what our medical experts and warriors at Fortis Hospitals, Bangalore has to say about the guidelines set by them to curb the virus.
The government of Karnataka has done a commendable job in controlling the spread of pandemic, primarily by issuing a lot of advisories, spreading awareness about the disease, dedicating a few hospitals for COVID treatment, also starting some flu screening clinics, and last but not the least, ensuring a very effective lockdown and making sure that only essential services are being run. On our side, we've at the hospital level, we've initiated a lot of community awareness initiatives about for COVID awareness among the patient community as well. We started a flu clinic long back, which has screened about 3,000 patients so far, and we are strictly following government guidelines for screening the patients and directing them to COVID dedicated hospitals. Besides that, we've procured adequate quantity of personal protective equipment for our staff and visitors and patients, and making sure that we are following strict clinical guidelines for managing non-COVID patients as well. We've also isolated an area inside the hospital should the need arise for us to manage COVID positive patients. To protect our staff, our patients, and even the visitors who are coming to the hospital, we have started a robust education program for our staff first, making sure that they are following the PPE guidelines first. So at the front line workers, the healthcare professionals, they should be protected first. That's number one. Number two is that the number of visitors coming to the hospital has been strictly limited, and only when we are requiring patients who require that kind of support, only in those cases we are allowing the visitors to accompany them. Number three is patients who are coming to the hospital on an outpatient basis, they should wear personal protective equipment. That means they should wear a mask, they should definitely carry a sanitizer if possible, or use the sanitizers that are available in the hospital as frequently as possible. Fourth is social distancing, whether it's our common areas, whether it's our outpatient waiting areas, whether it's our canteen, whether it's our inpatient waiting areas. We have maintained, so we have adhered to social distancing norms. People should keep a minimum distance between themselves, and people who are coming with some flu-like symptoms have been advised to wear N95 masks. They are freely, easily available in the pharmacies, so availability is not an issue. And people who are coming to the hospital should only come if it's required. Otherwise, they should avail of the teleconsult and video consult facilities that we have made available to them. Requirement inside the hospital is minimized.
When anyone comes to a hospital, we have a foolproof system wherein we ask the patients to fill in a self-declaration form. This self-declaration forms asks about whether there is any history of suspect of COVID, with the contact with the COVID patient, or whether their area is a high-prone COVID area, or they are having any of the symptoms, which is commonly known to everyone. So once they give this self-declaration, they are also given a hand rub to keep them to have sanitize their hands, and also they are requested to wear the mask. So now in this case, there are two things can happen. One is they can be further, they need to be analyzed, evaluated. So those patients, those people who has to be further evaluated, they are sent to our flu clinic. So our flu clinic, in our flu clinic, there is a doctor and a nurse who have donned the PPE, the personal protective equipment, and they are sitting there. They will ask the patient, the person, more questions, and also identify whether they are having more anything history suggestive of COVID. Then if at all if it is suggestive of COVID, then what we do is, there is as per the government directive, there are 5 centers where the swab is being taken. We send them to one of these centers, either through their personal transport or the COVID ambulance which the government has arranged. So the patient can go there, they can get the sample done, and then further they will be quarantined as per the requirement there.
For this, we have given few tips to them. One is use of standard precautions. Second is wearing of proper PPE or an appropriate PPE, which inclusive of cap, mask, visors, goggles, or the full sleeve gown, as well as the shoe cars, which will be worn by them and they can be protected from this infection. Then third thing, we have even made few videos how they have to wear these protective equipments in a right way. So that is called as donning and the doffing. Donning and doffing of the suits as well as the N95 mask has been taught to them as a preparation of caring these patients, and which invariably prevent of the infection themselves also as well as spreading the hospital. We have taken a step forward to reduce the working hours at 6 hours, because by wearing the suit and working with an N95 mask, it is very difficult for the staff. And also we have taken care of their confidence level by improving, making them to attend the webinars, and it is to remove the fear factor from them. So with all this training and compassionate approach to the staff have made them or empower them to take care of these COVID-19 patients.
We continue to serve patients in the outpatient department too. However, keeping in mind the social distancing norms and the other precautionary measures one must observe, we are restricting or limiting the number of appointments that are confirmed on any given day, while we have also opened up the platform for telemedicine and video consults.
As a hospital, our major commitment is towards community at a large. But how do we ensure that? How do we ensure that our workforce is ready to come to hospital to serve the community? For that, it is extremely important that we have PPEs in place where the employees feel safe to come to the hospital. Hence, it's extremely important, and it is one of our priorities that we stock adequate and the right kind of PPEs so that all our workforce is confident to come to work because they are protected. So for example, all PPEs cannot be worn by all the staff. There are certain PPEs for housekeeping staff, there are certain PPEs for workforce that is working in the ICU. So every day we ensure that we have adequate, sufficient stock, not only for today but for the future, because this is going to be a long battle that we need to win. So social distancing norm is a very challenging word, because different people think of social distancing differently. And in a hospital, it's even more important because we have patient attenders, and we have all categories of workforce. Hence, education is extremely important. So we have put up different kinds of posters everywhere to educate staff, patient and attenders on social distancing norms. We have also put up posters in the lifts that say that these are the number of people who can be in the lift at one point of time. We have put up some kind of barricade sheets in OPDs as a barrier between doctors and the patient or the attendant. And we are also ensuring that not too many people clutter in the hospital at one particular time, trying to ensure a safe environment of social distancing.